All right, you guys. So coming at the number 5 spot for me is Inglorious Bastards. The first time when I saw this movie, I fell in love with it. It's a World War II epic. Quentin Tarantino, like you said, his fantasy take of it. I love how Brad Pitt has this squad. It goes around just killing Nazis. I thought it was a really fun movie, and you said you don't think it has that much of a rewatch value.
To me, I said it's rewatchable. I said compared to these movies though.
Okay, I mean, I guess so, but I feel like I could rewatch that one a bunch. I think it also has one of the best opening scenes of all of Tarantino's films. Uh,
I think it's one of his best written. I'll mention that.
okay, yeah. I'm a big fan of this movie. I think it's really good. I really enjoy watching war movies, and this one was kind of like a breath of fresh air. So coming in at number 5 was Inglorious Bastards. And Hunter's turn now.
Thank you again, Jackson.
We're in the top 5, you guys.
Number 5. This is also gonna be a hot take. I love this movie, and you make Reservoir Dogs, right? One of the biggest independent films of all time. You get on the scene. Quentin's on the scene now. Writes fucking Pulp Fiction. Makes Pulp Fiction. Okay. Now he's one of the biggest directors in Hollywood. What is he going to do next? What's he going to do next? His third movie. What's he going to do next?
I have no
An
idea.
Elmore Leonard novel depiction of Jackie Brown. If you know Quentin, okay, he's very into the late 60s, 70s Motown aesthetic. Jackie Brown, Pam Grier, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro, the greatest actor of all time. Michael Keaton, Robert Forster, Bridget Fonda, and so many others. Chris Tucker. The soundtrack is
I forgot about that.
one of my favorites in cinema. I love the movie. I love the book. I've read the book. I can't nerd out about the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack because I'm a big 70s Motown guy. The movie, it's not Quentin's story, but he makes it his story. The book's a little different, of course, but you add Jackie Brown, you give a small little side character for Robert De Niro, for Lewis. Pam Grier is just amazing in it. She's badass.
Yeah.
It's a crime movie. I love it so much. If you haven't seen Jackie Brown, please go watch it. And I can't say enough about it.
All right, you guys, we're getting deep into it.
Real deep, like a 4-inch pool.
In the 4-inch pool, bro.
4-foot pool.
4 foot. Okay, that makes more sense. 4-foot pool for coming in at number 4 for me personally is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Whenever I needed to, this was actually the most recent Quentin Tarantino movie I watched. It took me forever to watch it, and again, thanks to Hunter for letting me borrow Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But anyways, I really love the atmosphere. The setting is great. Tarantino is awesome. I love Brad Pitt in this movie. He's so funny. It kind of reminded me of Clyde from True Romance, just a little bit. Just is kind of like the way how he spoke, the way how he kind of carried himself, but he had like more swagger. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a really fun film, and the whole Manson cult thing. There's a bunch of just cult references from that time period, which it was meant to be in. So yeah, really fun movie, and pretty good.
Thank you again, Jackson.
Yes.
Coming in at number 4. This is where it starts getting really hard for me.
This is where I disagree with.
Yeah. So number 4. Some people might not like this pick. It's Quentin Tarantino's Western film Django Unchained, starring Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't know if you asked.
This movie is
Kerry Washington too.
Kerry Washington too. Yeah. Again, one of Quentin Tarantino's rewriting history with Django. Yeah, you might want to hold that. With Jamie Foxx's Django, so badass. Christoph Waltz is great in this. I believe he won an Oscar. If not, he was definitely nominated. Leo should have probably won a supporting role Oscar for this.
He should have.
Or yeah, love this movie. It's fit, like the cinematography on it is beautiful. The story, Leonardo DiCaprio in this movie is phenomenal. I mean, the lead three actors just by themselves. Leo's Calvin Candy.
Yeah.
It's so good. Django, the original Django, makes an appearance in the bar. It has some of the catchiest quotes from movies and stuff. I just think it's so hilarious how he's able to mix comedy with violence and make this like really dark subject of slavery into kind of lighthearted and funny, and as the best way you possibly could, considering how horrible it was. And I've never met a person who does not enjoy Django. So
Yeah.
I love Django, and I know it was pretty high on Jackson's list. But yeah,
Yeah. So let's get into number 3 now. Coming in at my number 3 spot, I know Hunter will disagree with me for this pick. Reservoir Dogs. By the way, this is an awesome 4K. I just want to point that out. I mean, what a way to debut your film career, directing career, with a classic like this. It all takes place pretty much in one spot. All-star cast, I gotta say. I don't even know how he got that many people for his first film, an independent film. I don't. You probably know how.
talk about it when I get.
Okay, you talk about it, but I don't know how he did that. But maybe didn't he sell some scripts? Okay, I got you. He knows for sure. But
That's why I'm here.
yeah, really good movie. This one I do have to say it's very high on the rewatchable list of his films. Reservoir Dogs is great, and yeah, but coming at the number 3 spot for me personally.
Thank you, Jackson. Coming in at number 3, Quentin Tarantino's most recent film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it feels weird putting one of his most recent films in the top 5, because it's only came out just a little bit ago. It's almost been 5 years, which I'm pretty that's crazy to me. Stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Rick Dalton, Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth, and Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
And Margot Robbie's barely in it. Another one of Quentin Tarantino's rewriting history with the Manson clan and Sharon Tate, the whole true story. But the story follows an aging actor with his stunt double and their relationship in Hollywood, and it follows the new stardom of Sharon Tate. I love the aesthetic of it, the late 60s, early 70s aesthetic of it. Soundtrack's awesome.
Yeah,
It's hilarious. It's dramatic. It's got some of the cool, it's his love letter to the old, not old, because I don't want to offend anybody, but 60s cinema and 70s cinema. Yeah, Brad Pitt in this is awesome. Leo's he's Leo. It's not much. It's all I was talking about. Star-studded,
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, Leo, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. So many. I mean, just those are the 3 that come to my head just because they're sitting there on the picture. But so many others. Al Pacino, one of my favorite actors, is in it as well. And you have so much young stars. Maya Hawke, who's in the Stranger Things. Sydney Sweeney. The whole Manson, that whole group, he got these young stars. Austin Butler, who was Elvis, who was just nominated for an Oscar as Tex. Amber is her name. She's in Scream for all you horror fans. Amber from Scream 5's in this. It has one of the funniest parts in the movie with her. She's part of the Manson clan. Dakota Fanning's in it. Bruce Dern. I love this movie so much, and it's 3 hours, it's close to 3 hours long, but I think it has a really good rewatchability. It's really fun. If you're a good fan of just film, if you're a cinephile, you would love this film. If you haven't seen it already, if you haven't, go check it out immediately, and then DM Jackson, he'll DM me to talk about it. Now, for our number 2, we have the same number 2, and before you're like, oh, you have this in number 2? You have this in number 2? Trust me, we both know this is probably his best film, right? And arguably, like I said, arguably is. This is, again, our list, right? Pulp Fiction, okay? Now, I saw this in theaters not too long ago, This probably has the best or one of the best rewatchabilities
Mm-hmm.
in film. It's such a pop culture icon movie, a
Yeah.
staple. Cast is star studded. Yeah, Samuel Jackson, Tony, uh, John Travolta,
Harvey
Uma Thurman,
Cartel,
Harvey
Tim
Harvey
Roth,
Keitel, Tim Roth,
Amanda Plummer.
Amanda Plummer, Bruce fucking Willis. What's his name? Ving Rhames. There's so many. Steve Buscemi has a small little cameo in it.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino himself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this film is awesome. It's hilarious. If you ask Quentin Tarantino, it's a comedy. Like people are like, "Oh, this is just what the hell is it?" It's a comedy. If you watch it as a comedy, you will laugh your ass off. I promise you. It follows three stories. One of the boxer Butch, who is portrayed by Bruce Willis. You have Vincent Vega taking the wife Mia Wallace, who's the boss's wife, on a date where they go Jackrabbit Slims and the whole dance scene, which is iconic. One of the great soundtrack. And then you have Joel's thing, retiring and whatnot in the beginning
There's a
with
lot
Tim
of
Roth.
there's a one thing I do want to say. There's a lot of theories with this film. What's in the briefcase? What does that mean? A lot of people like to assume or kind of think that a lot of his movies are connected in a way. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, of course he. I don't know. So what?
Yes. Well, the whole briefcase thing he got was from a movie I believe called Kiss Me Deadly. A lot of this stuff that he does in his films are like he'll tell you himself, not
He
rip-offs, but like
he
shot for
like
shot.
homage
Oh
to
yeah,
like or
he'll
tributes.
tell you he steals it, like he says, every filmmaker steals, right? It's just you do it in your own style.
Mm.
So I think he just so great at that. And we can talk about this after, but yeah, Pulp Fiction at number 2. Love this movie. Love, 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 love,
Great
love, love,
movie.
love this movie. Don't get it twisted.
All right, you guys, we're at the final spot. We're at the number one spot. I guess by elimination, you know what's going to be on my list. But for number one, Django Unchained. Uh, Hunter already talked about it, but this is probably in my top 5 favorite films of all time. Jamie Foxx is amazing. DiCaprio should have won an Oscar in this. Kerry Washington is great. Um, everybody, I love the story in this. Like you said, it's his uh, fantasy take on the Western genre once again. Well, he made this before Hateful Eight, but anyways, it's one of my favorite westerns. I can rewatch this one all the time, and there's some funny scenes in it. I do gotta say, but in it, you feel so good when Django is the hero and he's like getting revenge on everybody. Um, it's awesome. Uh, I love Django Unchained so much, and Jamie Foxx is the man. So number one for me, Django Unchained.
Thank you again for the final time, Jackson. Number 1, the movie that really began my fandom for Quentin Tarantino. I know I saw the Kill Bills first, but this movie changed my life. And you might be like, oh, it's really basic. That's honestly one of the best parts about it. His directorial debut, he sold True Romance, the script for True Romance and Natural Born Killers to get money to fund for this. And you asked earlier how he got these actors. He gave the script to Lawrence Bender, who was the producer on the film, and his wife at the time knew Harvey Keitel was in an acting class, and he got hold of the script because Lawrence Bender's wife was associated with the acting class, and so Harvey got it, really loved it, and he was able to be an executive producer on it and give more money towards the film as an independent film. I think it was made for like a little over 1 million, I believe, and then it
Wow.
obviously went towards all the festivals and stuff. But they went to like New York and stuff to get like Steve Buscemi. So then Harvey Keitel loved it, so he wanted to be in it. But everybody, I mean, Quentin Tarantino's in it himself. Yeah, the movie, I love it so much. I love it. It's so iconic to me.
And you said that's. Oh no, never mind. I was.
It's my favorite movie of all time. Okay,
Oh, okay.
if that makes anything, I know you're like, that's your favorite movie. Yes, his to talk about a guy who just loved movies and loved cinema to go and make this. It's awesome, and it's your first idea of Quentin. His dialogue, very dialogue driven. His sense of mixing comedic tension and drama and violence. Wes Craven, horror director, He, I don't know why I did air quotes. He actually was at one of the festivals it filmed at, and he left midway through after the Mr. Blonde scene where he cuts Marvin Ash's ear off. Yeah. People thought, and Clint Eastwood, or that was for Pulp Fiction, sorry. But yeah, and fun fact, Bruce Willis actually really, really loves this movie, and that's how he got on for Pulp Fiction. And so, yeah, the Reservoir Dogs, I think Steve Buscemi's great in it, Tim Roth, they're all great in it.
Yeah. Why do I gotta be Mr. Pink?
Yeah, it's awesome. You got Lawrence Tierney, Chris Penn, who plays Nice Guy Eddie, all the guys, Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Pink, Mr. Orange. You follow along. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's the start of Quentin Tarantino, writer, director extraordinaire, and yeah, it just changed my life and made me want to, it made just my love for movies.
You guys, I really hope you enjoyed my first ever ranking on the channel, and what a better way to do it with all of Quentin Tarantino's films. And I gotta say, huge shout out to my guy Hunter for coming on, because I know he would really enjoy being on this video specifically because of Quentin Tarantino. So thank you for coming on, Hunter.
No problem.
That's right. Go check out these movies if you haven't seen them yet.
Are you living under a rock? Go check these movies out.
Go check them out. And we're excited for his 10th film.
Yes.
I can't wait for that. Hopefully going to go see it opening night, whenever that time comes. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like and let me know down in the comment section below what your list would be, and me and Hunter will be responding to you guys in the comments. So
as well as if you want to talk about it, we will be in the chats. But again, disclaimer: we're not film experts. These are just our opinions, our list. Some of them are kind of biased, like mine, but also just from watching them plenty of times. So that's how I base my list off of.
Yeah. But so yeah, you guys, again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support, and hopefully you enjoyed. Happy birthday, Quentin Tarantino.
Happy birthday, Dad.
From Hunter and me. And so yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, and